Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to a new video. So I hope you enjoyed that little edit. One of the coolest things about getting a new car, a new vehicle, is just exploring the vehicle. And what I mean by that is finding new angles, finding all the cool parts of the car, just kind of how to film the car. You know, this is all brand new to me. And, you know, I love the engine bay of the F80 M3. I think it's a beautiful, beautiful design. And it's just one of those things that I was just kind of in the garage and admiring all the lines of the car and everything. And I wanted to do a quick little edit. So I hope you guys enjoyed that. I'm always trying to perfect my cool little montage edits and everything and just have fun with it. I almost enjoy that the most out of doing these videos, doing those little montages. It's always fun for me to kind of explore my creative side and try to get better and better at them every single video. But that is not what this video is about. What we are doing in this video is actually installing my Uniden R7 radar. I've been running this radar for quite some time. It's one of the best. They actually just came out with the R8, but I'm sticking with the R7 currently. I use the same one in my truck. I have the same exact setup, and the way that I like to do it is mount it underneath the mirror. I'm not a big fan of having all the wires kind of hanging down in your way, plugged into different connections and everything like that. I like a really nice clean install, something that looks very, very factory, and in a way, something that you can't even tell it's there. So one way that I like to kind of install my radars is to do a mirror mount. So basically it's going to be mounted directly underneath the mirror. There's not going to be any wires hanging down or anything like that. Also, one of the benefits of doing it under the mirror is that it has great range. There's nothing obstructing the view or the signal or anything to be able to get the best accuracy. So having it mounted under the mirror is always the best route to go. And it just looks really good. So that is what we are doing. Now there's a couple ways to go about doing this. You can do a hard wire or you can do a mirror tap. For me, I always do mirror taps. I just think it's cleaner. It's much easier. It's very reversible and you don't have to run 1,000 wires or a bunch of wire through all the pillars and everything. This is really, really simple to do. So what you're actually going to need to do this is obviously some type of radar. You can use their Uniden R7 or you can use any other one. You just have to make sure you get the correct mount and the correct wire tap for your radar. But specifically this video is going to be installing the R7. Comes in a nice little package, nice little pouch. You get all the different accessories. You get the 12-volt connection, so if you want to run it that way, you get different suction cup mounts and all that stuff. If you guys saw my video when I did pick up the M3, I was using this just because I threw it up real quick on the drive home and I didn't do the mirror tap yet. But it comes with a nice little carrying case and everything, a bunch of different wires. I absolutely love the R7. Now, the other things that you're gonna need are these two little pieces. Now, I got these from Amazon. You can go with different brands, but I prefer radar mounts, mainly because I've had great success with these. Again, I have the exact same setup in my truck. And I've used this exact same setup in my STI. As a matter of fact, this entire setup is from my STI and it works in the M3 as well. There's other brands out there, more expensive ones, cheaper ones, but I've had great success with these and it comes with a nice little kit. So this is the actual radar mount. This is what actually connects to the mirror stem. And then this is the connection to the radar right here. It slides in that little slot and it just literally clamps right onto the mirror stem. Again, make sure you get the correct one for whatever radar you do have because there's different clips and different mounts of how it connects to your radar. And obviously to obtain power, you're gonna need one of these. This is the mirror tap. This is actually what's going to provide power to the radar. So instead of getting it from the 12-volt connection, you're getting it directly from the mirror plug, the mirror power. So the mirror in the M3, the F80 M3, it is auto dimming as well as a home link mirror. So if you look underneath, there's the 1, 2, 3 for the garage doors. So all the wires and everything are actually behind this black plastic piece. And also if you look on the front of the window, it has rain sensing, or it has like a little camera. Can't really see it with all the glare, but there's a little camera right there that actually senses when it's raining, so it turns the wipers on automatically. So the reason why I'm mentioning all that is because it has power. So all we're gonna be doing is tapping into the plugs in that little plastic casing to get power, and we are good to go. So I'm gonna show you exactly how to do that, all the steps involved, and just how easy it is to get this done. All right, so first things first, let's go over the connection points and how to get to it. So as I mentioned, the wires and everything are behind this plastic right here. And to gain access to that, as you can kind of see, there is a slit down the middle of the plastic piece. Actually already kind of opened this up, so it's a little bit easier, but if you want to use a pry tool or something like that, you can use that as well. But I found my fingernail or my finger was easiest. So you're simply just going to kind of pry it apart. Whoop, that part went flying, but the right side came off. Now we're simply just going to pull the other side off, and that comes off in 2 separate pieces like that. And we're going to put those aside, and now we have access to our wires. So it's a little tight back there. I'll try to get some light for you to show you a little bit better angle and kind of what plugs we're tapping into, but that is what we're looking for. So you can see the wires behind there. So before we start tapping into the wires, let me go ahead and mount up the mirror mount so I can show you how to do that. So this is what we're looking for, this little stem right here. That's basically just going to clamp right onto that and tuck really nicely up underneath the mirror. So let me go get the mount, get that on, and then we can move on to the actual power. All right, so we got the radar mounts ready to go. So as you can see, this kind of opens and clamps down onto the actual mirror stalk. So what we're going to do is actually loosen one side of it, so you're able to have it like that and slip it onto the mirror stem. So it's very, very hard to get any angles behind the mirror. So I'm going to get it on there. Then I'll show you exactly what it looks like behind there. And all you do to tighten this down is use the provided Allen key and the little screws right here to kind of clamp it down, and you're good to go. So let me go and do that, and I'll show you what it looks like when it's on. All right, so we got the mount all mounted up. You basically just go back and forth and tighten each screw until it clamps down evenly. And it is incredibly sturdy, not going anywhere. You just want to make sure you position it far enough back so you have full mobility to change the adjust the mirror here. If you have it too far forward, it's going to hit right here. Just want to make sure you have the mirror mount as back as you possibly can, so you have full adjustability. So now that we got that completed, we are going to install or obtain power. So we're going to use the mirror tap to plug into the wires back there. I'll show you just which ones. So as you can see, there is a red and a black wire. The red is power, the black is ground. Pretty simple. And the other end connects directly into the radar. So I'm going to show you which wires we're going to have to tap into in order to obtain power and get this radar working. All right, so if you look directly behind the mirror, there are 2 plugs. There is a black plug with a bunch of wires, and then there is a red plug. The black plug is associated with all your mirror functions, so your auto dimming, your home link, the garage door openers. On the top, the red plug, that is for your rain sensor. Now, I've looked this up quite a few times, and there's a couple of different ways to go about it. For some people, it works this way. For some people, it works that way. And I tried multiple different combinations, pretty much every single different variation that everybody has said worked for them. And I found that only one worked for me. Why this one worked for me, I don't know, but it works. So I'm going to go ahead and show you just what I did. And which plug we're actually going to be using is the red plug up here. As you can see, there's 3 wires going into it. Again, kind of hard to see. There is a red and white, and then all the way on the left, there is a brown and black striped wire. So we're actually going to be tapping the red wire from the mirror tap into the red one, then the black wire into the brown striped one. So really simple. So we're going to take the mirror tap. You can see the little pins. We're just going to shove them right into the actual plugs, into the little pins right here. All right, so we got the taps in. So as you can see, the red wire is tapped right into the right side, which is the red and white wire. And then if we go to the other side, sorry, I'm so shaky. The black wire is tapped into the far left pin, which is the brown and black wire. So we have power. Everything is good. Now I have the wire coming down. I hooked up the radar in here just so you guys can see. So now when we plug this into the side right here, we will have power. Plug it right into the side like that, and we should have power. Yep. All right, so there we go. It is connected. We have power. Now, I did find that this, as soon as you unlock the car, this turns on. Typically in my other installs, I've tapped into wires where it turns on when the car is on, you know, when we hit the ignition, and then as soon as you turn the ignition off, it turns off. But I found with this wire tap that I just did, going to those specific wires, the radar turns on immediately as soon as you unlock the car. and then it stays on for about 2 minutes or so after you lock the car. But it does turn off, so don't be freaked out if it stays on when you lock the car. I sat here and tried all different wire connections and everything, and this is the only one that works for me, and it turns right off after a minute or two. And so don't be alarmed if you still see it on after you lock the car. I just want to put that out there. Since I was confused at first, I had to look some things up if people were having the same exact issue. Well, not really issue, but having the same exact kind of occurrence. And they were. So that's what most people do when they do this, and it turns right off, so no problem. So in order to finish up this install, I'm going to install the little plastic pieces down there back on here. I'm going to tuck the wire up nicely so it's not hanging out and it looks really clean. So let me go ahead and do that. So to install these, you simply just slip one side on. I usually use the driver's side first, and then I take the passenger side, kind of position the wire where I want it. You can kind of see where I was clamped on it a little bit, and then put the passenger side on and you're good to go. So I'll do that, show you what it looks like, and we can wrap this video up. All right, so there we go, guys. Everything is installed. I tucked it up as far as I possibly can. Now the plastic piece here for the rain sensor does get in the way, so you're able to tuck it up even closer if you don't have the rain sensor, which I'm not sure if that was an option or not, or there's F80s equipped without it. But if it's not there, you can definitely tuck this up further. But honestly, it is completely out of the way, perfectly within arm's reach to mute it while I'm driving. So I'm here, and all I gotta do is put my hand there, hit the little button on the side to mute it. So it is nice and close, and the range on this thing, as I mentioned, is amazing. Has a nice direct shot straight out the window, so nothing is in the way of the sensors up front, as well as the rear sensor as well, which is all integrated into the actual unit. So it is fantastic. Super happy with the install, really clean. I have the wire kind of tucked up underneath, so you can honestly not even really see anything. So from around the side, as you can see it, over here as well, really clean install. So absolutely love it. Again, I do these in all of my cars except my wife's Telluride. She doesn't want a radar because it's annoying to her, but in all the vehicles that I drive, so my F80 as well as my F150, I have the exact same setup, same mount, same tap, same radar, everything, and absolutely love this setup. I had the exact same setup in my STI as well. A lot of people like that and have done it themselves as well. So I hope that was informative. I hope that helped anybody that's interested in using the Uniden R7 or any other radar that they have for their F80 to wiretap right into the plugs out back and have a really clean setup here, so you don't have to worry about all the wires hanging and all that. Now keep in mind, this works for any type of car. This works for any type of radar. You just need to make sure you get the right mount as well as the right connection points and everything. So this is a pretty universal setup. All right, guys, so that concludes the install of the Uniden R7. Again, kind of hard to see with all the glare in the windshield, but there it is, right there, right under the mirror. Super clean, out of the way, great range. It's just one of those things that I love doing in all my cars to make it a really clean setup so I can just get in and drive and not have to worry about all these wires hanging or any obstruction in the way or objects or anything. It's super clean and I love it. If you guys are interested in this entire setup, I will leave links below for you guys so you can purchase everything that you need to do it in your F80 M3 or any other car that you may have. Again, just make sure that you get the correct mount as well as the correct connection, the mirror tap, in order for your radar to work. Yes, all the links are below if you guys are interested. Stay tuned for this thing. I am just about to get started on modifying this thing. It is completely stock. The only things that are on here are the PPF, carbon splitters down here, as well as a carbon trunk lip and a carbon diffuser. Although all that is getting replaced with much higher quality ones. But I have a huge package, a huge shipment coming in from a very reputable, well-known BMW aftermarket vendor, business, whatever you want to call it, company. I've actually teamed up with them. I'm going to announce that in a future video once everything comes in. But I will tell you, it is the largest purchase I've ever made in my life in one shot. For car modifications. I literally pretty much got every single thing that I want to do to this car, at least right away. There's plenty more things to do in the future, but huge shipment coming in, and I'm very excited to be working with them, and I'm super excited to get started on this thing because it looks amazing stock, but I'm telling you, the vision that I have in my mind is it's blowing me away, and I cannot wait to share that with you guys and kind of show you the progress. So that's going to do it for this one, guys. If you have any questions at all, be sure to ask them below. But in the meantime, keep it clean, keep it simple, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.